It's not just a case of whether Ruben Amorim wants a new attacker anymore at Manchester United. We need, and I mean desperately need, a new goal scorer for Amorim on deadline day. Because what he's currently got, boy, consistently scoring is a foreign concept to them this season. There's a few things I need to say about this United team, and I'm not just talking about that game against Palace, although I will mention that because it's much, much deeper than that. Manchester United this season, boy, oh boy, oh boy, is it a boiling pot of different roller coasters. Boiling pot of roller coasters doesn't really make any sense. Not just watching United win 3 in a row. Nah, never mind. We're going to do that against Crystal Palace. I'm going to run through some of the main takeaways from that because we've reached desperation stages. We need a goal scorer, and it's deadline day. Will one happen? We'll find out. But the main takeaway from yesterday isn't even in the football or the performance. It's Lisandro Martinez and how cruel that injury was. Because to see him go down like that, yeah, he knew it straight away. He was signalling to the bench. He was in tears when he left the pitch. I think he knows that that one there is one that could really impact whether or not he comes back as a Manchester United player. That's a career-defining injury. I think like the metatarsal one that's a bone. You can recover from that one. Even the knee one. Was it the same knee? That sort of who was it that fell on it? Can't remember. Either way, United are worried that Martinez is going to be out for the season. I'll be amazed if we see him this season. And look, it's probably going to be about a year before you see him again. So what, 3rd of Feb 2026? Great. He's been our main progressor from deep this season, man. Take him out of the equation, and then who are you going to look towards? When it rains, it pours. But when it comes to the football, we need to talk about the fact that Amorim needs, and I mean needs, a goal scorer, man. He is desperate for a goal scorer. There's no other word to describe it now. And this isn't a problem that's new this season. This isn't a problem that's exclusive to Højlund and Xerxes. This is a problem that has existed at Manchester United for like 2 to 3 years now. We've just not been scoring enough goals. There was a period where, under Erik ten Hag, I remember any game that we won, we never did it by more than 1 goal for a long-ass time. Ahmad's our top scorer this season with 6. Højlund, Xerxes and Garnacho have got 8 goals between them in the league. Rashford's got more goals than Garnacho, Xerxes and Højlund. He hasn't even played for like 50 days, and he doesn't even play for our club anymore. That's why Amorim went for the experiment yesterday with Mainu up front. I mean, the experiment didn't work. First 15 minutes of both halves, United had chances, but we couldn't take them because we didn't have a centre forward there. We didn't have a finisher. Goals can come from all around the team. I'm not just talking about purely a goal scorer. There should be more goals in general from other players, but in terms of purely a goal scorer, I don't think Matthias Tell is the long-term solution. But if you look at what we've got now, I hear that United are remaining calm on deadline day. Are you kidding me? Remaining calm. It's the total opposite. It is a bit of a panic, which of course puts United in a tricky position because when you panic, you make wrong decisions like going into a shop drunk. You're going to want it all. You might not make the right decision. Signing Matthias Tell on a loan with an obligation or permanently, I don't want us to do that. And that's pretty much why we've not so far. But Ruben Amorim is desperate for a goal scorer. What could he do from within? He could promote Ciro Martin. I think we'll probably see him before the end of the season, if I'm being honest. Maybe in a cup game. Although, let's be totally clear that the league is where there's not really any pressure anymore because we're finishing mid-table. We're finishing no higher than 8th and somewhere above the relegation zone. That's going to be our season in the league. So technically, the least pressure is on the league now, which is a mad thing to say. But Amorim is desperate for a goal scorer. I don't know what he could... With the options he's got, Ahmad, Xerxes, Højlund and Garnacho as the 4 attackers in the second half of this season. Now, it doesn't mean that letting Antony or Rashford go was incorrect. Both of those decisions were correct. But not bringing anyone in is incorrect. They have to find a solution. Whoever that is, even signing someone like Weghorst on loan is going to be better than not signing anybody. United need a goal scorer. I'm not exactly saying Weghorst is a goal scorer, by the way, because he hardly scored any goals. But you get the point I mean. There's someone else I want to speak about from that game, and it's not the first time this should have been a conversation. It's probably the first time I'm having this conversation with you about Diogo Dalot at left wing back. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't actually know what goes through Diogo Dalot's head sometimes. Capable of playing very well, but capable of just making decisions in games that make you go, What on earth was that? How did you come to the conclusion that that was the right thing to do? Whether it was it Munoz, the Palace right back yesterday, and him just like ducking down underneath the ball when he came in for a head at the back post. He's done that a few times before, but just in general, I hope that's the last time that we see Diogo Dalot playing left wing back. Now, the fact that we, of course, have just signed Patrick Dorgu and he should be fit for the Palace, so for the Leicester game and Spurs after, and fingers crossed. In February, there's only one game per week, so he should be fine. That would be how he settles into the team. I never want to see Diogo Dalot left wing back ever again. He was filling a job and he was doing his best, but his best is nowhere near what we need for that role. Push him back to the right wing-back position. Have him stay there for the rest of the season. Bring Mazraoui in to be one of the wide centre-backs. Don't play Mazraoui as a wing-back, please, Ruben Amorim. I know it's just sort of needs must, but just not where... He was playing brilliantly at the start of the season. The fact that he's not now is a positional thing. And Diogo Dalot, I just never want to see him play at left wing-back for United ever again. I mean, that seems simple, but we'll find out. Now, number 4 on my list. Look, Old Trafford right now feels like a boiling pot. Of course, yesterday was emotionally charged. It was the closest home game to the Munich air disaster memorial, or anniversary, sorry. The surfer flag went across the Stretford end. So emotions were charged. But United at Old Trafford this season, awful, right? Look at this stat. Sorry, I'll zoom out on that one for you. This stat here is diabolical. United have lost 7 of their first 13 home league games this season, a club record at this stage of the league campaign, with 1893 to 94 similar. And look at these. Wow. Lost 5 out of our last 7 at home. And Ruben Amorim's already gone on record to say, look, United players are anxious to play at Old Trafford. It still staggers me that we went from going undefeated at Old Trafford in a season under Erik ten Hag to what we're seeing now. I almost wish that United could play away every single week. Oh, I think United fans are just... They can't be blamed for this. But the position where they're in and the football that they are watching, and it's not just the football they are watching, and I can only speak from my own perspective here, but it's the fact that even when United have won 3 games in a row, you go into that game and you know you have to fear the worst, and then the worst turns up and your expectations are met in a bad way. That's the feeling I have as a United fan. You just can't trust them. You still can't trust them. Even if you've won 3 in a row for the first time this season, you still can't trust them. And the last point I want to make here is that I think Ruben Amorim is going to have to help himself and I think he will. An issue that I've definitely had is playing 5 at the back with 2 full-backs as wing-backs rather than someone a bit more aggressive. And like Ahmad is our best right wing-back. But also, with United scoring no goals, he wants him closer to goals, so plays him more. Actually, it kind of goes... he scored a hat-trick from right wing-back against Southampton, didn't he? I think Dorgu coming in will help. I don't know what he can do himself. You need to let me know in the comments. I asked this in the live show and it kind of went all a bit quiet. What can he do apart from trying things like Mainu or playing Højlund there? It's not as if Højlund was there against Palace or Xerxes that all of a sudden we wouldn't have had any problems up front. We would have had that. We've had these problems in attack for years now. We desperately need a goal scorer and it's deadline day. If United are looking at this and going, it's calm. Well, I don't think it is. So let's find out. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, do subscribe.